Most of the time when we think of environmentalists, we think of people in the rainforest and other far-off exotic places. My name's Dan Broman, and my wife Marilyn and I are creating video stories about people who are caring for the environment right where they live. We hope you enjoy these stories and get inspired by backyard environmentalists.
Imagine climbing this mountain, 4,000 feet of demanding physical strength. And imagine the endurance it takes to keep yourself going up, up, and still up. Now imagine that you're 9 years old, and your goal isn't to just climb one mountain. Your goal is to climb 10 of these giants.
I took a walk, not very far. I closed my eyes and dreamed real hard. And there I was, in my own backyard.
Our next backyard environmentalist is an amazing young man. He's raising money to help his school go green by climbing 10 of the 4,000-foot peaks here in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. But he's not alone.
Well, since I didn't have any New Year's resolutions, and I heard that my school was trying to go green, I did something that I liked, and maybe other people that if they saw me doing this, maybe they would find an interest in it.
My name's Evan. I'm trying to raise $5,000 for my school by climbing 10 4,000-foot mountains. This is my 7th.
Today, the Whitemyer family climbs 2 mountains, the Osceolas. It's a challenging family outing that has its scarier moments.
Come to this corner, and then there's another steeper stretch.
I do sometimes worry. Especially during the winter hikes, I worried a lot about ice and snow and extreme cold. But David always does a lot of preparation work, and I know that he would never put one of the kids in a situation where something could go really terribly wrong.
Lots of little places to stick your feet.
I always carry, 2 times as much stuff as I need. When we went in the winter time, I made sure that, we had multiple pairs of extra socks, snow pants that we often didn't end up using, face masks and goggles. We never encountered any really dangerous weather, but even in the summer climbs, I'm carrying far more than we ever used.
At some of the rocky parts where you have to start to use your hands, it gets a little bit harder.
Taking a breath break.
People from all across the country became interested in what this little guy in the 3rd grade wanted to do for his school. So he got some sponsors, he got donated equipment, shoes and things. He got to meet a lot of different people and brought a lot of goodwill and information about our school to the larger community.
But as we found out, the Osceolas was an extremely demanding hike. And mile after rugged mile, the Whitemyers were tested. A test that would mean the difference between failure and success.
Being an activist is not easy. Making the environment green is not easy, but it can be done. What do we know the 3 types of muscle are?
Tara Turner teaches at the South Shore Charter Public School. And when Evan finally reached his goal, he showed an interest in her animal and environment workshop. Because now it was important to spend the money wisely.
Evan came along and had this money, and he had this courage and this passion towards the environment, and said, hey, I have this money, why don't you tell us about your project?
Our original goal of the Veggie Van was to reduce the carbon footprint of our school. So we thought it was important to have an alternatively fueled vehicle so that we could get to different places without producing the emissions and without using gas. Last year we sort of talked about getting a vegetable-powered van or any sort of...
And the idea of a veggie van became real. Soon students at the school would be smelling French fries rather than the diesel fumes they've become accustomed to. Thanks to their benefactor, now 4th grader, Evan Whitemyer.
These guys have one of the only vegetable oil or biofuel-powered buses as far as the school goes. And working with a bigger group as far as all the kids, we've really been able to try to kind of spread what we practice about sustainability and renewable energy.
We had to purchase online all the materials that you would need to do and a shed for where we would store the vegetable oil. But now where do we get the oil? So that was our next challenge.
It goes through the sock filter. It just basically gets all like the chunks and stuff out. We had to present to restaurants to ask them for their oil. So that was pretty much the hardest part, to get a restaurant to donate their oil and to find a restaurant that would donate their oil, because some restaurants have contracts.
Not only do the students have to find a source for the vegetable fuel that this van uses, it has to be a certain quality, making their task even more difficult. But it seems the motivation comes from something really basic.
Everyone shares this environment. This is our community, so I think it's important for everyone in the community to come together to help make our environment better and cleaner.
Doing their part is EMD Serrano's Epicurean Feast, where employees are rewarded with a really tasty lunch experience. And the same high quality that goes into their food is now going into the veggie van in the form of filtered cooking oil.
I think it's great. I think these kids, you know, it's very hopeful for the future that they're taking an interest to, you know, do their part. They go in, extract the oil, fill the containers back up, so we're not throwing these out either.
Between different restaurants and mechanics and other people just helping out has made our project work.
If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to have the oil for our van.
At Mammoth Media, Elena is taking a student's artwork and designing it to fit onto the van. In a business where creative work is a big part of the product, the owners are glad to get involved, and they're trying out a new environmentally friendly material. So they're going green too.
The whole idea came from students, and their concept was really original. You don't see a lot of students getting involved in a project like this, especially at the age level that they're at. It was just really a creative idea that we wanted to be part of.
So here's where creative forces come together, helping the artists at the South Shore Charter School take a not-so-beautiful prison van and turn it into the Veggie Van. With lots of help from students, teachers, the local community, and businesses, the South Shore Charter Public School is off to a good green start. The vegetable oil gets the same amount of miles per gallon as diesel, and because the oil is donated, that means free fuel and big savings, making going green really green.
We have lots of wish lists, as many places do in this economy, but we really would like to redo the infrastructure of our school in terms of how we power the school and the energy source that we have. And so doing the roof and the heating system in terms of infrastructure.
If one needs help, help your brother. If both need help, help each other.
From a New Year's resolution and a whole lot of determination, one third grader has accomplished his goal, setting the wheels in motion and inspiring others to go for the top.
On top of the world.
He establishes this goal of $5,000 by November, and to climb 10 mountains by November. He's climbed the 10 mountains by September. He's got $5,100 for our school.
I think that's pretty awesome that he wants to help his school and he wants to go green, and he'll climb mountains and raise money just to give it back to his school. I think that's awesome.
We also want to establish an Evan Whitemyer Award that we will give to a student at the school who does a service project. It doesn't have to be climbing mountains.
Does an experience like this build character, or does character make an experience like this happen? Maybe it's somewhere in between, where character builds upon itself. This story, Evan's story, is an example of great character, especially in someone so young.
Luke climbed 6 of my mountains with me, and that's over half. And we really did some good stuff along the way, and we really helped each other, so I really want to thank him. If you don't have any New Year's resolutions to break like me, and you hear of something that's happening or something your school is doing, I think that you should really try to help by doing something you like, and maybe it will inspire other people to do it and maybe help you.
What an amazing young man. You know, when we started this story, we thought, A third grader hiking mountains to help his school go green. What a great story. But we weren't expecting to meet all the great backyard environmentalists that helped to make this story happen. So it made us wonder, who will be the next backyard environmentalist?
I took a walk, not very far. I closed my eyes and dreamed real hard. And there I was, in my own backyard. I see an army of green, getting ready to take the scene. And what a beautiful dream, backyard environmentalist, backyard